We are live on Facebook, live on Instagram, and we are live on Twitter. Let's see who's going to be the first to get on. Matt Sop 15, you're the first to get on Twitter. Makani to call and TRV. Man, you guys got to get easier names there. Kenya, Sam Hakopian, Val, bunch of guys getting on Twitter and Instagram. Sal Hernandez, Reina Martinez, Rosiepearson, Walter, what's up from New York? Everybody comment where you are from. Instagram's already getting filled up. Facebook, let us know what part of the country, what part of the world you are from. We're gonna have some calls today. I brought my the phone. We moved it here to the office. You guys are actually gonna see a different angle of my office. I don't know if you guys ever seen me with this angle of the office with MJ there, Tiger and all these guys, President Bush, Tiger, Brady. It's a different angle you're getting today, but it's good to be on with you. I mean, honestly, what are you going to be doing, right? Friday night, you're going to go to dinner? What restaurant? What movie? I mean, everywhere people want to go right now, it's kind of confusing. You ask your wife, babe, what are we doing tonight? You know, you want to go to, I asked her right now before she left, I said, you want to go to movies tonight? She said, hi. I said, upstairs at our movie theater at the house. She says, well, we can do that, but we can't do anything else outside of that. But it's good to be on live with you. So look, here's what we're going to be doing tonight. Pose your questions. Put your phone number. Somebody said the interview you did with Kobe's a classic. Thanks, buddy. Post your questions with your phone number. I'm going to call you and have a good conversation with you. But we have a lot of things going on right now, obviously, with the whole data that just recently came out with the 3.28 million Americans who just applied for unemployment, I believe last week, 3.28 million people that just applied for unemployment. The record prior to that was 659, I believe, back in October of 1982, which is a long time ago, but also at the same time at 5x unemployment. So there's a lot of people right now that are calling, messaging us, and I don't know. You know what? Maybe we'll even do something. I have something in mind to do with the sales stuff. So just keep that part of mind. Okay. I'm actually announcing it today because a lot of people were asking. Maybe we'll do something about that today as well. So let's see if we're going to get the question first. Makani, I see your phone number. But I don't just want your phone number. I want your phone number and I want your questions. Post both. Okay, so how do you know when you should quit or when you should stick it out? I want better questions than that. Give me a better question with the current times, what we got going on. Let's see who's going to get the first one. My question is, what do you think about the business I'm trying to create? Okay, I don't know what business you're trying to create, so I can't really help you out there. Talk about XRP liquidity. Pat, what's the next society shift? How do you feel about Corona? How do I feel about Corona right now? Why don't we call you, see what you're going to say here. Simple call, 1914-882-9835. Jahlil, I'm calling you. All right. Jahlil's the first call. Is this Jahlil?
Yes.
How you doing?
Yes.
Where are you based out of?
New York.
Jahlil, why do you sound so excited?
I don't know.
You don't know? So what's on your mind and what's your question? Tell me, what are you thinking?
My question is, how do you feel about coronavirus?
How do I feel about coronavirus?
Yeah.
As far as the severity of it, like how bad can it be?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's address that. How old are you, by the way?
15.
15 years old. So 15 years old, you're getting on this live from New York. So first of all, the good news is you got a governor that's a tough guy, who's poised, who's confident, which you're in good hands. You know, whether you agree with him politically or not, he seems like a pretty calm guy that's got things under control. So that's number one, the fact that you got a guy that's doing his part. Second thing is, I'm a data guy. So all I'm looking at is data. And if you look at the data right now, I don't know if you guys caught the data today. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up here while I'm talking to the rest of the guys. Coronavirus stats. If you look at it right now, I believe the number is at 590, 590. I don't know why I feel like it's 590, 590. 590,000 cases and 26,000 deaths. Do you know what the site is with the stats that we go to? There's a site that we go to that we're looking at that gives all the cases. Anyways, the number worldwide with death and the number of cases that we have is 4.5%. Okay, so if it's 4.5% of people that have coronavirus are dying, that's the cases that we have. And in U.S., it went from so right now it's 592.19 is what the numbers we're looking at. 592.19 is what we're looking at. 919, and we're looking at 27,187 who have died so far. And then if you look at countries, with what the data looks like as of right now, U.S. is at the top with cases. It's 101,000, and then we have 1,567 that have died, right? So 1,567 that have died, 1,567, we have 101,000 cases. The more cases that's being done, believe it or not, the more good data is coming out. Now, why? Now, obviously, look, you don't want to lose a single person. Anybody that's lost somebody, if it's somebody that dies, it's someone's mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, spouse, loved one, friend, co-worker, it hurts no matter how many numbers it is. But right now the numbers are 1.5%. It used to be at 3.4%, and it's at 1.5%. This is the question that we have to ask. How many people do you think haven't yet gone and gotten tested? The other day I just called to find out what the procedure's like. I called my doctor, and I wanted to act like any patient that would call their doctor, and I said, you know, I want to go out there and get tested for coronavirus. Tell me why. Is your fever on 101? I said yes, just to see what they're going to say. Says, oh, okay. Well, have you called Baylor yet? No. Call Baylor and then call us back. They give me a number. Then I called Baylor Hospital. Then they said, well, call this hospital. Then I literally for an hour went through it to find out what the process was going to be like. And then all of a sudden I'm like, so what can I do? The lady finally said, look, we're so busy right now. We'll call you back. If you're 101, are you having this cough? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? You know, try to get tested tomorrow, see how you feel, and then come back to us. That's what she told me, okay? So now if she told me that, and I'm somebody that has access to money, and she said this has nothing to do with money, it's not like you can pay me 10 grand for you to come and get tested, unless if you're playing for the NBA and some of the political people, they're getting taken care of because they're playing for the right team and they're taking care of them. It took so long that all I thought about is how many people have symptoms of coronavirus that went through the same 1 hour that just said, honestly, forget about it. I'm not going to go take the test. So then I told myself, if the number is 590,000 cases worldwide, and it's showing that we're at 4.5% worldwide, that's assuming all the cases have come out. That's assuming in China, the cases they give us is correct. It's only 81,000. We're assuming China's telling us the truth. We're not thinking about that China may have 400,000 cases. And the more and more cases of the people that are not coming and the people that are coming, it makes the data go lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, which means the death rate for people below 50, based on some of the data that I'm looking at, as around 0.5%, 0.25% to 0.5%. This is purely data. I'm not an expert. I'm only looking at the numbers. I'm doing the data, and I'm calling around and asking for myself, which means it's hope. This is good news. The good news is yesterday I was watching one of the folks that I recommend you follow. He's a doctor that sits on the board of Harvard. And he says, look, we're not going to be getting the vaccine for another 18 months. That's just the reality of it is. And everybody's claiming this vitamin, this medicine, that medicine, this medicine. He says potentially half of America could get coronavirus. Yes, half of America could get coronavirus. But if we're looking at a 0.35%, 0.5%, it's going to be relatively 3 times, 5 times worse than what flu is. It's still bad, but it's not as bad as some other cases we're looking at. So I foresee things settling down here pretty soon. But I don't think the fear of human beings and people is going to go away soon. You know, this whole $2.2 trillion stimulus that just came out is going to produce 3 different types of people. Let me tell you about these 3 different types of people with the stimulus package they're getting, and then I'll take the next caller. The first kind of people that are going to get this stimulus package are those that are sitting there saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to get paid $500 a week, $600 a week for the next 39 weeks. I can, this is great. I'll be at home and I don't have to work, and I'm still going to pay my bills, and I'm still going to be good. And they're sending money and all this. This is interesting. Just like back in 2010, 2011, when unemployment went for 24 months, what it produced is a lot of people that stopped applying for jobs. People became lazy. The bad habits came back again. There's going to be the first group of people that are just relying on the stimulus package just to kind of get by for the next whatever amount of times it's going to be, they're going to take the biggest hit, because the habit it's going to develop when this thing goes away and the market goes back to normal in the next 6, 12, 18 months, it's going to be very ugly, because that's going to take 5 years of recovery of bad habits. The second kind of people are people that are not needing it. They're saying, don't send me the money. I don't need the money. I don't need you to send me money. I'm fine. I've made the right decision, the right choices. I've lost money. I've lost, just to be frank with everybody here, I've lost millions of dollars in the last couple weeks. I don't want to give the exact number, but I've lost a lot of money in the last couple weeks. But you don't notice me panicking. How come I'm not panicking? Because why would I be panicking? I've been preparing for this. I've been talking about this for a while, and I know this was coming. And I know what's going to happen with the market once everything recovers. So I'm making my phone calls. I'm buying the right investments that I'm buying right now, and I'm going through the process. But this is the part. The second group is not affected. They're ready for it. Not they're ready for it, but they're more ready for it than everybody else. The third group of people are the only ones that anybody can help. The third group of people that are watching this, who are saying, listen, I was surprised by this. I was caught at surprise. I wasn't wanting to go through this. It was painful. It was annoying. I don't ever want to go through this again. Those are the people that can do things today to prevent the next time that we have a crisis that's going to be around the corner in 10 years. Because if in 01 we had 9/11, if in 2008, 2009 we had the major market crash that the market tanked 38% in a year, and if today we have the pandemic that the market tanked from 29,500 to 18,000 in a span of a month, that's 39% loss in a month. And the next one's going to be 10 years from now. If I develop the right habits right now, if we overcame a JFK assassination, if we overcame Robert Kennedy assassination, if we overcame Martin Luther King assassination, if we overcame the attempt on assassination on Ronald Reagan, if we overcame 9/11, if we overcame 2008, we're going to overcome this as well. And those people that come from that mindset and they pivot, they adjust, they learn the right skill set today, just letting you know, future looks bright. That's all I can tell you. Future looks bright. I'm not a doctor, I'm not the expert, but the data says future looks bright for those that prepare themselves. So, having said that, Mr. 15-year-old out of New York who got on here with us, I'm proud of you, buddy. Have a great Friday, and hopefully I'll meet you here soon. Take care, guy. That's how I used to do. Not okay, it's I had a buddy of mine in the Army whose name was Brian Arthur Hooker. That's his name. And he was a sergeant from New York, and he was a DJ. You got to know that I teased him on a daily basis. But the guy was so flipping cool. I'd say, how you doing? He didn't like to be called Arthur. I said, how you doing? What's I'm from Iran. I can have an accent. You're from New York. You can't tell me but he would say He's trying to say I'm all right, but it's a short for all right. But it is what it is. Even an Assyrian born and raised in Iran can learn that lingo eventually. Okay, so which question are you giving me, by the way? Is it Abel or is it Jose Reyes? Do you believe this will begin a new era, kind of like, okay, how do I balance borrowing money to keep my business afloat versus digging myself deeper into debt? Restaurant. Nathan Say, I'm about to call you. Get your phone ready. Nathan Say is the next caller. All right, Nathan Say. What a good name, by the way, huh? Nathan Say. All right, 1989. Here we go. Nathan Say, what is happening to bonds? Good questions. Facebook. Let's get some good questions on Facebook here.
Hello, it's me.
Nathan, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad.
Where are you from?
Colorado.
How's the weather there?
It's pretty good. It's a little cold today, but should be nice for this weekend.
So what's on your mind? What's your question?
Yeah, so I own a restaurant and a food truck, and we've had the food truck about 2 years, and we just opened up our restaurant about 6 months ago in partnership with a brewery. And, right now we're kind of we're looking at SBA loans and things like that to keep ourselves afloat, but trying to figure out what the balance is of borrowing versus getting ourselves deeper in debt. And how you kind of would look at that and balance that out.
Well, what's the arrangement? How much, because I'm hearing different things that you got to pay back 90 days, some is 12 months. What is the arrangement of the loan you're getting?
I haven't finished filing for it yet, so we're looking at some different options, whether it's SBA loan or it's extension on our current loan through our bank or extension on our credit or whatever it might be, and just trying to figure out what that, where that line might be for us. I guess is kind of a case by case basis. So.
Let me ask you a different question. Pre-coronavirus, how profitable was your business?
Our first 3 months in business, were negative. But after that, we've been, up until March, we were really hitting our stride. We were being pretty profitable.
Can you give me data? I want data. Give me some numbers. How profitable were you with your business pre-coronavirus?
Pre-30.
I lost you, buddy. Say it again.
30%.
30%. So what is that 30%? What's the number? So if you're making 10 grand a month, you're keeping 3 grand net profits.
Correct.
And how many months in a row were you averaging a number like that?
About a month and a half, because we were coming out of our slow season.
That's not enough data to give me. That's not enough data to give me confidence about the business. So how many months out of 12 months did you net, no matter what, 30% profits on your revenues? How many months out of 12 months?
9.
9 out of 12 months. So would you say if you take the 12 months and you average it out, you're about 25% on average profits on whatever you sell?
Yes.
And were the revenues going up?
Yeah. Our revenues, last year we hit 250K just with our food truck. And this year we were forecasting for 600 with the restaurant.
So 600 at 30%, you'd make around 180 net to you and your family?
Yeah.
How much cash are you guys sitting on right now?
I'm sorry, you broke up. How much cash are we sitting on right now?
Yeah, how much cash are you sitting on right now?
About 20,000.
20,000? Okay, and what's your expenses with the business?
Right now, pretty minimal. We've cut everything back because we're pretty much on shelter in place in Colorado. But we're still we're starting delivery up next, and then so I would say around $2,000 a month without our current payroll.
$2,000 a month without your current payroll. What does that mean without your current payroll?
We had to lay off most of our staff just because we haven't had barely any business.
So you're probably, even at a time like this, are you guys able to make money right now? Like, are you able to do delivery to make some kind of money or no?
Yes. Yeah, we can do carry out. We have online ordering already set up. We're doing delivery starting next week. That's our next phase. Just trying to balance everything out. We're trying to get people back to work. But we're also, the main priority is to keep this business afloat through this so that these people have jobs to come back to.
So how much are you trying to borrow, and how long is that going to prepare you for, or at least protect you?
I think we're looking at around 30,000, and that should float us through until the mid to late summer, probably end of August, because our biggest expense is opening back up when they do release everything.
Yep.
Because we'll have to bring staffing in, bring new staff in, we'll have to bring in the whole 9 yards and basically start from scratch almost.
So what's your concern about borrowing the 30,000?
Oh, I guess just, at what point, is that a tipping point of, percentage? I guess it's just math, and I need to sit down and do the numbers. I think you helped me out. You kind of walked me through a lot of that. Just
so you know, that's how I look at everything I do. I sit down and I put all the data on the board, and then from there I do the math to see if it makes sense or not. And it sounds like you already kind of have an idea if this makes sense or not. Because if 9 out of 12 months you were profitable at 30%, and you're at 250, you're projected to do 600 minus the coronavirus at 30% profits, you're going to make 180. Even if things are worse, 25%, you're going to make 150K. To put that $30,000 to save you to go till end of August, the risk you're losing 30K, yeah, I would take the risk if I was you, but that's me. I don't think this is a big risk you got to take. So, and if this thing settles down, takeout's going to be around because people are going to need food to go to them. So I think you have an opportunity here, even during a time like this, because every day I've had to order food from somewhere to come to the office here. More than ever before. I don't normally order this much food. I've never had to order this much food. If I'm in your world, I'm calling every essential business. If I'm in your world, I'm calling every essential business, and during a time like this, I'm getting business. I'm calling and I saying, hi, this is John. Look, I run a local business. I'm in Colorado. I'm whatever city you're in. Here's what I like to do. This is what we make. You know, do you mind if I send you this? I know if you're doing some kind of a takeout, we'd like to be able to give you a 20%, 25% discount on your first order. Hopefully, if you like it, we can do more deliveries too, and we'll bring it to you. I would be cold calling the hell out of all the essential businesses locally. I'd be sending stuff to them. I'd be dropping off stuff to them. I'll be talking to the guys. I'll be calling them regularly. I'd be on the phone 200, 300, 400 calls every other day just to get the traffic going today. And if you do it right, and when you come out of it, your business model may flip and change, because now you got customers that want your business every day and they don't have to come to your restaurant. That minimizes your cost. Your profit goes higher because you don't need the whole, a restaurant, the additional stuff that you got to set up. So this would be a good time for you to get good at selling and selling yourself over the phone. Building rapport, charming yourself into different businesses, getting the decision maker, winning the decision maker over. This is your time. This is your time to play offense. That's what I'd be doing if I were you.
You got it.
Oh, good, buddy.
I appreciate your time, Patrick.
You got it, man. Take care. Hope to see you soon.
You too.
Bye-bye. What we got here? All right, that was good. I wanna. You said cable? Abel, my company's a door-to-door industry. The virus has affected us 100%. Any suggestions? So funny, Abel. I was just on a call with 4 of the biggest earners in America and Canada in the door-to-door business, and I'll tell you what I told them.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Pat?
How you doing, Abel?
I'm doing good.
So what's the word?
Yeah.
What's the word?
So word on the street is, man, so I own a door-to-door marketing company here in Texas, and we're pretty much shut down right now. And I'm just looking for the next best option. I mean, it's a whole industry shut down right now, door-to-door.
Yeah.
So I know there's going to be a big industry shift where a lot of these leaders and agents are going to be looking for something to do that they can still continue making money. But those avenues are not open to us yet, since we've been solely focused on, the electricity and direct TV, those kind of businesses door to door. So
let me ask you a couple questions. I got a couple questions for you. So what's the product you sell door to door?
We electricity and cable for cable companies. We do marketing.
Electricity and cable companies?
Yeah.
Are you able? How many sales guys do you have right now, door to door?
Here in Texas, close to 30, and then in the Northeast, I have a small team of 10, but that's shut down as well.
Are you able to sell other services?
Well, that's what we're not open to it. I don't have any knowledge of any other services that we can.
You are open, or you're not open to it?
No. I guess I am open to it.
Okay.
But
can I sell you an industry? Can I sell you a service? It's actually not a business I'm a part of. Can I sell it to you?
Yeah.
Ready? Okay. So here's my pitch.
Right.
Here's my pitch. If I'm in your world and I got door-to-door sales guys, okay, that I'm going out selling, and now nobody wants you to come to their house. They don't want you to knock on their doors. They don't want you to do any of that stuff. Okay, no problem. I'd be looking at services that I can sell today. And one of the services that is actually not a bad shift to make for people in your world is the following. What is one of people's biggest fears right now if this pandemic gets worse? What are people buying a lot right now based on the fears? What's selling a lot right now?
Well, I know for sure life and health insurance are selling like crazy. I'm actually doing some part-time work from home.
Okay, but I'm not talking about that. Go simple with me. Actually, go simple with me. Yeah, yesterday, I just got a call this morning. Okay, I'll tell you what, she's probably online as well. I got a call this morning. One of our earners, she's $1 million earner plus in the company. Her car was used by their nanny. The nanny's boyfriend or something like that left the door open. She woke up today to go to work. A lady was sleeping in her car.
Oh my.
Lady was sleeping in her car. She's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? So she panics. And she says, she calls her husband. And now her husband, if you know her husband, there could be an earthquake going on. He's just reading his book, okay? He's the most poised guy I've met in my entire life, right? He's related to one of the Italian mob families in New York, okay? So now watch this.
Okay.
She calls me. She says, Patrick. I said, what's that? Guess what I want to buy. What do you think she's thinking about buying?
Well, I'm not sure. If it was me, I'd be buying Lysol, to be honest, to spray that car down.
No. The person slept in her car. Okay, yeah, you're right. But what are you going to buy to want to protect? I like your comedian side. What are you going to buy to protect your family, your wife and kids? What are you going to buy to protect yourself?
Well, I mean, home protection would be, to me, a gun. I don't know.
There you go. You finally said it, man. You're going to buy a gun. You're in Texas. It should have taken you 5 seconds to say this. I mean, a gun to Texans is video games to people in California, right? Okay,
right.
You're going to buy a gun. Now, you're going to buy a gun because what? Because you want to protect your family, right?
Right.
Okay. So how many people do you think right now are worried about invasion? How many people do you think are worried about people that lost everything, that maybe crime and robbery is going to go high? When crime and robbery goes high, what do you think people want in their house? What do you think they want to buy for their house?
Well, anything, any security. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is something you can sell over the phone. Hello. So meaning an ADP, any of those companies, I'd be calling those guys and I'd be getting a contract to get my door-to-door guys selling alarms, security alarms, because it's a contract. You do $40 a month, $50 a month, and they advance you $200, $300. This is a method for your guys to be selling security alarms today, because your door-to-door guys, they're hustlers. They know how to go out there and work. It's not like they don't know how to work. If a person knows how to go sell door-to-door, I guarantee you a person knows how to sell cold call. The challenge typically is cold call people are not door-to-door people. But every door-to-door person I've met is not afraid of making phone calls. So I'd call one of those companies and see if I can get a contract with them. Now, obviously, long-term, it may not be the industry to be a part of, but for your 30 guys that need to sell something, that may be a route you may want to take. And I know you're doing insurance and annuities on the side. That may be a long-term thing for you. It's a good move you're making, but immediately may not be a bad idea to get some of your guys selling alarms right now.
Got it, man. Thanks for that. I hadn't seen that part. So yes, definitely.
You got it, buddy. Have a good one, Abel. You got an Abel name, so I know you're an able man. All the best to you, man. All the best to you, brother.
Likewise.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, who do we have next? You got Chris. Somebody here. What is Chris saying? Best way to take care of my workers when they are all independent contractors, I want to keep my staff and do well by them. And this is what? Independent contractors, what's the business? The business is what? Independent detailing. Let me see what other questions we got. Hold this thought. Let me see if I got another one here. Twitter, if you got any here, let's see what Twitter's got. I'm 17. Okay, people on Twitter were answering a question before Abel was. Completely bankrupt. Help. Can I call this number from here because he's international? Let me see if I can call you. All right, let me call you here. If you want to look at this here to see. 91. If you can call it from your number, maybe we can call it from the other phone number. We'll call them up. Facebook, let's see if you guys have any questions here. Will Trump lose election because of coronavirus? I like that question. I'm taking that question. All right. I promised myself we're not touching politics a year ago, but today all we touch is politics. It seems like by the time it's just no more filters.
Hello?
Is this DJ Morse?
This is DJ.
How you doing, man?
Good.
Where are you based out of?
New York.
What part?
Upstate New York.
Upstate. What part?
Horses.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been there. Upstate. I used to go to upstate years ago. But okay, so tell me, what's on your mind, man? Are you wondering whether Trump's going to get reelected or not?
Yeah.
So now, are you a Trump fan? For full disclosure.
Absolutely.
Oh, you are a Trump fan. So before I give you my take, what do you think? You think he's going to get reelected?
I think so.
You think he is? Tell me why.
I think him being a businessman, that he's going to pull us through this temporary coma that the economy has right now. I think he's a wartime president, and kind of like in a war right now.
So you think that's going to be good for him to get reelected?
I believe so. He's going to be a leader, get us through it.
So now I can give you my take. You ready for my take?
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's the point of view I can tell you. If him and Biden do 2 debates, if they do 1 debate, it's over. Because Biden cannot debate Trump. Cannot. They're not in the same league. It's kind of like McCain debating Obama. Okay, McCain has a resume. He's stacked. I mean, his resume was so stacked, I mean, he should have won. But Obama is an incredible debater, different style than Trump, but McCain cannot go against Obama. Now, if McCain and Obama were running for office back in the 50s, pre-TV, McCain would be president. Very big different story, because it's a complete different story if you're dealing with TV. You know what happened when JFK went against Nixon? Everything changed. Now, Trump goes against Biden, not going to happen, because Trump's going to catch him off guard, because Trump is so witty. He's bullied people like Biden his entire life. So to him, it's going to be natural to go through somebody like that. If Sanders goes, I think it'll be juicier. I just don't think the Democrats are going to let Sanders to be the nominee. And I think Sanders' energy and fight, he's got a better fight than Biden does. The crazy thing, if I'm a Democrat today, and they hired me to be their campaign manager, let's just say they called me, they said, hey, Patrick, we want you to stop creating content, drop it, no more valuetainment, no more PHP, no more insurance, no more finance. We want you to come and be a candidate. Now, a lot of people are putting thumbs up, thumbs down because you're not happy about it. I totally understand. I'd love to hear your take, whether you agree or not. Some of you guys are clapping. Awesome. This is what I tell you. I would do, if I'm a Democrat, everything within my power to get somebody like a Cuomo to be picked up as a nominee, because this event of crisis brought Governor Cuomo. He's your governor out of New York, and he's a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's not a Trump, but they're getting along. If Cuomo went against Trump today, New York, swagger, tough guy. Trump's dad is Fred. Cuomo's dad is Mario. If you know Mario wasn't afraid of anybody. Mario's got a lot of respect in New York. If I'm a Democrat, I'm going to do that. If they don't, typically when war happens, sometimes people think a time like this will prevent Trump from getting reelected, which the reality of it is, times like this, people rarely want a new president when there's a war. Remember, what happened to Jimmy Carter wasn't war. What happened to Carter was economy. So they want a person out when the economy's not good. What happened to President Bush was 9/11, even though he had another person he's facing off. America said, we don't want a lot of changes when we're going through war. So this is closer to 9/11 than it is closer to 2008. So if this is closer to 9/11, Bush got reelected. After that, I have a feeling Trump is going to get reelected, because it wouldn't be the best decision to bring somebody in while we're going through the pandemic, because no matter who the new candidate is going to be, they don't have as much access and intel and information to all the things that's taking place behind closed doors with the coronavirus as the existing president would be. So I think the American people are just going to say, I'm going to roll the dice for one more time. And I think the independents are going to elect Trump, re-elect Trump, and that's how it's going to be. But that's 70%. 70%. If his handling of this scenario, the next 90 days doesn't go good. I have people on the inside from the left, and I have people and friends from the inside on the right. They've told me that things are looking very bright with what's about to happen with coronavirus. This is the feedback that they're telling me. And once it does, the economy could go back to 30,000 points and higher. If that happens, it's game over. And then on the other side, if this drags out a little longer and the Dow goes below 15,000, below 13,000, there's a very high likelihood that Trump will not be able to use the economy card. So it could be a black eye as well. So we're going to see what's going to be taking place.
Okay.
There you have it. Go enjoy your family time and enjoy your kids. I hear them screaming in the background. Tell them Patrick says hello.
I will do. Thank
All right,
you
buddy.
very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, next question. So he might get reelected. Is that Sharshars? I would say very high likelihood it's going to happen. I know the folks that are following me, if you're Democrats, that's not what you want to hear, and you can put your thumbs down like this. But as many thumbs down Republicans put when Obama was going for his second term, it was going to be very tough for anybody to beat Obama because of what times were. How can I use this time to scale my marketing agency? Samvel Hakopian. Let's see what else we got. I may go to Samvel. Let me see what else I have here. Do we have anything here on Facebook? What do you think will happen to the vendors that provide product for hospitality industry? 2 minutes, need 2 minutes, but you got to put your question, Oscar. I would give you 2 minutes. I'd give you 5 minutes, but not without a question. I need help finding my purpose. Awesome. Okay, let's see what we got here. What do you think about insurance is going to look like for us agency owners once this is over? Do you think let me see who you are. Have we spoken before? No. Anthony Starks. I think I'm calling you, Anthony. Where's Anthony based out of? 748-3317. You know Anthony Starks?
I believe I just talked to him.
You
ran into him at the mall and you sold him the vault tickets.
Oh, Anthony Starks. Anthony's a stud.
Yeah.
I met Anthony and his wife and 3 kids. I think he's got, if this is Anthony, let's see if this is the same Anthony.
He answers.
If he answers, that is a good point.
Hello?
Is this Anthony Starks?
Yes.
Anthony, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Anthony, did you and I run into each other one time at a mall like a couple years ago?
We did.
Your wife and 3 kids? Is it 3 kids or 2 kids? I don't know why I remember 3 kids with you.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah. I remember that. That's right. I remember that. Okay, so tell me, what's on your mind? What's your concern?
Look like after this is over for insurance agency owners, and does he think that pivoting into purchasing land after this is over is a good?
Oh, okay. So we're looking at the idea of the coronavirus and everything, how it's going. We want to know how is that going to impact the insurance industry, and is it wise to, once this is all over, kind of start getting into real estate? The vault conference, you mentioned how you really don't get into real estate. You just focus in one area, do insurance, and that's it. But at this point in the game, is that the direction you're still going in, or you think that'd be wise to kind of get into some land and real estate?
Well, I mean, when you say land, tell me more. What do you mean by land? Like you're talking land banking, or just buying land and relying on what happens, 3, 6, 12 months later?
I would say more of the trying to buy properties and to rent out, I would say.
Okay, so rental side of real estate.
Yes.
What are you solving for, though? What are you solving for? Are you solving to build the value of insurance business to the next level? Do you want to keep your business? Do you want to sell the business? Do you want to build to sell? What do you want to do with your insurance business?
So we want to build it so that it's a generational asset to pass down. So as we build up our renewals, because we talk about, you kind of remember we're in the health insurance industry, and so that's what we mostly specialize in, but it's getting hammered with Obamacare and stuff like that with the new changes.
Do you remember what I told you a year and a half ago? Do you remember what I told you a year and a half ago? I don't know if you do.
You said to pivot.
I said to pivot. You didn't listen, though. I told you a year and a half ago.
We have been pivoting. That's why we're in the PNC space.
So you're now PNC, or you're still in the health business?
Yeah, we're still doing the health business, but we're transitioning to rounding the accounts to the PNC side of it. Okay, so why are you talking to me about health insurance then? Well, we haven't completely got out of that space yet.
Okay, why?
We're still developing the PNC.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, look, anytime I'm competing with the government for a product, it's just a losing proposition. And that's what you're doing if you're doing Obamacare, because you're competing against the government. They have more leverage than you do. You got to be competing with free enterprise, free market, to see if you can out-strategize other people. And that's the part where you were doing health. I suggested maybe PNC or life and health, because that allows you to compete in a completely different place in a marketplace. So I think the part you guys got to decide more of is, rather than thinking about buying real estate, if you're changing industries, that new industry, you have to learn a lot of new things. You're going to need your savings. I wouldn't be investing in crazy real estate stuff unless if you're sitting on $1 million of cash right now, or $500,000 of cash. If you are, then maybe yes. But anytime you rebuild a new company or a new industry or a new product, it requires so much energy. It requires so much of your energy and enthusiasm to be able to make that work, that if you step away from it, you're going to take a hit. So I would be more focused on building my business than I would be more focused in investing in real estate, because you still don't have a real steady business. If you don't have a real steady business, build a real steady business. That's my number one priority.
Okay. And that's what we're doing. We're actually getting commission agents, because we talked about that before, about the danger of paying salaries to your producers. And we're working on getting more commission on the agents to produce. We're building our internal home office staff, and we're building our portfolio contracts with property and casualty carriers.
as well as understanding.
Good. That's good. That's good. All that stuff you're doing, that's good. I like the fact that you're doing that. But my feedback to you, I want to make 2 more calls before I wrap up. My suggestion to you is go make your business more solid. You just shifted from one industry to another industry. I wouldn't be going out there splurging my money because you still don't have a real legitimate company yet. First, make your company and your business legitimate, then start looking at all the other stuff. When you're trying to build a company, you need cash, so you don't need to go out there and spend your money too much right now. Play offense with your company right now.
Okay, put numbers on the board.
No, not put numbers on the board. Build your business. Build your business. I'm building my business. I'm not just putting numbers on the board. I am building my company that it has value. It's not just put numbers on the board. A lot of times you hear salespeople talk about, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to sell, I'm going to do this. No. Build a real business that it has value, that if you're not there, somebody else can run it and build value and income out of it. Go focus on building a business right now. That's what I'd be doing. Building a business is leadership development. Building a business is the stuff that we talk about at the Vault. Building a business isn't just let me go out there and sell some more. Build a real business that's transferable, that somebody could say, okay, you did $5 million last year. You netted $1 million, 20%. If I buy this business for $5 million, I'm going to make $1 million a year. Okay, great. Let me consider buying a business from you. And you have a real net worth of $5 million. Then maybe you sell 40% of your business for $2 million. You take that $2 million, you go buy some investments. It's fine if you want to do that, but focus on building your real business. That'd be my challenge to you.
Okay, and that's what we're still in the process of doing, because you told me to keep my EMIT coach, and we did. And so we're actually still building the system processes and all that stuff.
Awesome. Go get him, buddy. Good talking to you, man.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Good night, good night, good night. Enjoy your Friday night quarantining.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, which one you got here? Let's do which one you just handed it to me. Which one do you want me to look at? 17, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know if it's your college. Okay, is it worth it? College today, is it worth it? Safa, hey, Canada study. I want to change and return my country and invest in game. Okay, got it. Give me one good question, guys, and then we'll send everybody off to go and enjoy your Friday night with your loved ones. Let's see what we got here. Give me one good question here. One really good question. I would appreciate advice from marketing a blog and on social media. Fred has been asking, should I import from China now or stop trying until things bounce back? Import from China now? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't be importing from China now, but that's a very deep conversation. That one conversation, okay. So Facebook doesn't have a lot of questions. Let's see if Instagram's got questions. I'm gonna go to Insta here. Insta, you got any questions or what? If you got no questions, I'm gonna bid you guys a good evening. Should I buy a duplex in my current economy? Goal to set aside side income, Myrna. See what else we got. What should we be doing to be productive during times like this? Okay. I want a real unique question. How do you succeed and thrive in the last recession? I'm a realtor, survived the last one. I feel like great opportunities are coming. Any suggestions? Let's call this one. Philip, I'm calling you. Get your phone ready, buddy. 562-338. I'm calling Philip. Philip, you're probably the last call. Okay, Patrick, is this the right time to launch my team management and video conference and product? Interesting. Let me think about that.
Hello, Philip.
Philip, how you doing?
It's Pat.
This is Pat.
Pat, you're the man.
My man, how you doing?
Woo!
So, Philip,
how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Where are you based out of?
I'm in the South Bay area, San Pedro, California.
San Pedro. Wow. So is San Pedro 105 and 405? Or is it 5 freeway? Which one's San Pedro?
110.
710.
We're at the end of the 110.
You're at the end of the 110.
110, 405.
I used to run so many appointments in San Pedro, and I used to go to that one place that has military bases. What is that military base? The city starts with the letter S, and it's right by San Pedro. Not San Clemente.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah, anyways, I used to go there all the time. I had some good friends right around that area. One guy's name was Clarence. I was always with him. So tell me, man, what's on your mind? What are you thinking?
So all the doom and gloom out there, I feel positive about everything that's going on. I'm not trying to fall into the news, and I feel like the last recession, I was so young in the business of real estate, and it was just trying to survive. This time, I want to thrive. So I just want to hear, what did you do in the last recession to stay motivated and grind and actually thrive during those times?
It's amazing you say that. This morning, I'm reading a book, and this book is by one of the best private equity guys in the world. The best private equity guys in the world. He's done some big deals, very big deals. I'm talking GE deals, $30 billion deals. This guy goes back, he's in his early 80s. So he's been around, he's done a lot of deals with people that have been, big names over the last 50 years. He said, if you can grab my notes, man, if we have that notes, I had these notes right here. Man, if I have those notes, see what it is over here. Take a look at these over here, right on there. See if it's that. If you give it to me, I'll find it. He said something very interesting that I think everybody here, you give it to me, I'll find it. All right, here, let me see if I can find it. All right, so here we go. Just a powerful message he gave. If I can't find it, it should be right here. Yep, we're getting closer. There it is. I found it. Okay, I cannot believe I found it, but I found it. Okay, so I'm reading this book, and he's talking about all these things that he went through with his career coming up. Yale, Harvard. He fought Harvard because he dropped out of Harvard saying it's a bunch of BS. All you guys do is the same classes, the same thing. You just get more money from people. And he went against the dean, and the dean was ticked off at him. How dare you say stuff like this about me? Because, Harvard's a very political type of place, so you don't say anything about Harvard. And he called him out. And he goes into a career, and he starts working. And when he starts working, this is somebody that wants to be somebody. At 30 years old, I think he did a $499 million contract and started making a couple $1 million for himself. And out of the $499 million contract that he did, he made like a $2 million or $3 million on that deal, and started winning, started making some name. Then he started a business with $200,000, and then eventually he decides to build this company. When he worked at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter, I used to work at Morgan Stanley Dean Witter years ago. He says they used to hire in twos. They hired me in twos. It was me and another girl named Sol. When they did our interview, he's telling this story about how they used to sit there, and we would hire the person that was more cooperative more than the person that was willing to beat every one of his teammates at all cost. He says the reason why we hired more cooperative people is because cooperative people didn't lose deals. They were able to get deals done. And other people were so competitive, they would sometimes rub people the wrong way, they would lose deals. So we like the cooperative guys. And it says, finally, when we wanted to start our own company, we made a list of what kind of people we wanted. Here's what I learned. This is his words.
Yeah.
If you build a company with eights, people who are eights, when it comes down to work and leadership, he says eights just do stuff that you tell them to do. Here's what I think you should do. And they go do it because they're an eight. Eights follow orders, okay? He said nines execute strategies better than everybody else. So an eight, you can tell him what to do. He goes and does it. Nines, you tell them what to do. They execute the strategy better than everybody else. So they still execute it better than everybody else. They're better than eights. Eights will get the job done, but nines execute it better than everybody else. He says you can build a very good company with nines. Then he says at the end, he says, but tens sense problems, design solutions, and take the business to new directions without being told to do so. Let me say this one more time. Tens sense problems, design solutions, and take the business to new directions without being told to do so. So what does that mean? Look, today, those who are tens and decide to act like tens, you're going to hear about heroes 10 years from now you've never heard before. You know how sometimes somebody all of a sudden overnight becomes a hero and everybody's like, oh my gosh, what did he come out of? What did she come out of? Behind closed doors, he or she had 10 tendencies of somebody who's a 10 leader, and nobody was watching what they were doing. They were making the right pivots. They were making the right adjustments. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, they are who they are. I started my insurance agency in 2009, October of 2009. September 23rd is the day I made a decision at 3:30 in the morning. I'm starting my own company. I didn't wait I resigned and we started the company, right? 2008, Mark tanks 38%. When I said, here's what I'm going to be doing, my wife called my dad. Then she called my friends. And everybody called me. And they came and visited me. This is what my dad said. My dad says, you can't leave right now. I said, why? You just got married 3 months ago. So what do you mean? You just got married 3 months ago and the economy's not good. You want to start a company right now after the economy took a hit and you just got married 3 months ago. You promised this woman you're going to take care of her. I said, Dad, I'm sorry. She decided to marry me. She's known how I've been since June of 02. If she didn't know from June of 02 till June of 2009 how I am, that's her problem. She already knows how I am. What do you want me to do about it? So she's marrying me. I'm doing this. I'm making this decision. My friends called me. They said, Pat, you're already making good money. Why are you making this kind of a decision? But we started a company and I started working. Behind closed doors, it was constant initiative being taken, constant. It was initiative, unique ways of doing things, reading everything I could devour on. How did other people make it during market crash? What kind of companies came out of a Great Depression? What kind of companies came out of the last 1981 when the interest rates were so high? What strategies did they use? I did so much research, intel, and behind closed doors, trying to go find new ways of doing things that nobody else wanted to do, which the insurance industry historically was all predominantly men. I went to women. Historically, insurance industry was all Caucasian. I went Latino and, multicultural. Historically, insurance agents were all in their 50s and 60s. I went to 20s and their 30s. And they say, you're out of your mind. No way in the world this is going to take place. This is what we did. And then I mapped out. I put a map and I said, if I'm a general and I'm going to war and I'm right now in California, I'm all the way on this side. How am I going to build a national agency? I moved one of my guys from California all the way to Florida. Then I moved one of my guys from California to Houston. Then I moved one of our guys all the way to Chicago. And then from there, things started expanding. And then I went in from California, Florida in, Illinois in, Texas up, if that makes sense. We went in. And then that was the strategy. I said in the next 10 years, we'll be in every single state. And we grew from 66 to 14,000 agents in 49 states. And now we have 130 offices, nearly 500,000 square feet of office space. And that happened because there was a strategy being put together behind closed doors because I aspire to be a 10. Whoever today aspires to be a leader that thinks like a 10, like he's talking about, I cannot even tell you what the future looks like for you. I can't even explain it to you. Let me tell you what I mean by I can't even explain it to you. Some of you are going to have things you're going to experience over the next 3, 5, 10 years where you only thought was possible in movies, not real life. You only thought was possible in books you read about with other people. Right now, with everybody being afraid, you better believe behind closed doors, there's a group of people right now that are saying, the world is going to know my last name because how I'm reacting today. While everybody else is scared, I'm preparing for massive growth in the next 12, 24 months. If you've never seen the movie, what is the Count of Monte Cristo? If you've never seen the Count of Monte Cristo, you ever seen the movie Count of Monte Cristo?
I have. Great movie.
Great movie. This is the time where many Monte Cristos are going to be born. Many. Behind closed doors, the guy's in jail, in prison, meets a guy, starts teaching him philosophy, starts teaching him to write books. And then all of a sudden, he comes out, applies it all, builds a castle, puts the craziest party together. And the man that put him in jail, that took his girl away from him, he invites him to the party with the wife. The wife falls back in love with him. The girl falls back in love with him. And then he has the feud with the guy. You know how many Monte Cristos are being born right now? Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many Monte Cristos are being born right now. I mean, it's endless. But the only person that knows this is the person that's willing to pay the price today behind closed doors without getting any attention. That person is not going to get attention for many years. Listen, when I was creating content, I told myself one day, behind closed doors, I'm creating content, stacks and stacks of folders. Can you bring those folders here right now? Bring me all those 3 folders. Behind closed doors, I'm typing notes, I'm typing notes. All 3 of them, just bring them up. These are stacks and stacks of these folders that I have. I have a whole closet of these things, right? These notes, I cannot believe I'm doing this. These notes go back so many years. I mean, if I show you what stuff I have here, but nobody had any clue how I was when I was saving these notes. I'd watch a video, I'd take the notes, and I would say, oh my gosh, this was great. I would add every single note. I would read stuff, notes after notes after notes after notes after notes. I wasn't born with the way I'm thinking right now. Behind closed doors, I decided I'm going to develop PBD's brain. I'm going to develop PBD's mind constantly, over and over and over again. By the way, when I was doing this, guess how much credit I was getting? This much. Guess how many people knew who this guy was? This many. Just friends that partied with me. Just people that work with me. But behind closed doors, constantly, I'm going to study the next thing. Constantly studying the next thing. Constantly studying the next thing. I kept putting all of this stuff together, knowing one day the opportunities around the corner for this guy named Patrick Bet-David, who nobody was paying attention to as a kid in high school coming up. So he joined the army, the underdog. And the next thing you know, things turn. What's the moral of the story here? Listen, man, if you've ever wanted to be a hero, and if you ever wanted your family to be proud of who their son is, who their daughter is, who their father is, who their mother is, who their sibling is, who their friend is, because everyone is right now distracted with fear, and you want to recreate yourself, because as the saying goes, sometimes you have to disappear and reappear. There's never been a time in the last 40 years, never been a time better today than to disappear and reappear in a way that no one's seen you before. Never. New habits, new thinking, new shift, new way to process issues, new way you solve problems. All of that stuff. Today is the best time. So right now, yesterday, my wife said, what are you thinking about, babe? I said, I'm thinking about Christmas. She says, what do you mean? I said, I'm so excited about Christmas. Why are you so excited about Christmas? I said, honestly, I think this is going to be the best Christmas ever. Well, why is this Christmas going to be the best Christmas ever? Because everyone's looking forward to it. Everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, 2020's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you go to Christmas, you're like, wow, 2019 was a great year. I made 28 million bucks. You know, look what we did. But this year's going to be like, I can't wait for Christmas. Let's open up presents. Let's wake up. Let's go play with the snow. It's so awesome. Just thinking about Christmas excites me. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm excited about Christmas. I'm excited about what the future looks like. I'm excited about sitting there telling my kids this story. Hey, I know you guys had no clue. You were 8, 6, and 3. Guess what? You went through one of the craziest times in the history of America. Yep. I said this on a webinar an hour and a half ago. An hour and a half ago, I said this on a webinar. I said, look, I was talking to a doctor, and I asked him a question. I said, let me ask you a question. How much does the blood, you know, the blood, that somebody's blood is boiling, how much of someone's blood that's boiling has to do with when parents conceived their child? And the doctor says, what do you mean? I said, let me explain to you what I mean. So just think about it. If you see a kid and you see him, you're like, wow, what a calm kid. Maybe when the parents conceived their children, you know, when he was conceived, life was pretty peaceful. Parents went to church, God, Heavenly Father, you know, everything's good, normal life, regular life, everything is pretty solid. Nothing crazy. The kid is born, he's like, hi, Dad, how are you? Goo goo gaga, you're awesome. I love you so much, Mommy. You're so amazing. He nurses very calm, doesn't bite anything. He eats the food. Yeah, he poops and it smells like crap, but he's okay. He's kind of pulling it off and he's being a good kid. And then you have this other kid that is born during an era where there's war. The day Mom and Dad conceived, there's a war going on. Dad was ticked off and pissed off at the same time. All those emotions went into that kid. What is that kid going to turn into? That's a scary looking kid right there, right? What does that tell you? Today? Oh my gosh, if you get by today with these times, I just want to tell you, anybody who gets through these strange times, your blood's going to be boiling in ways that fast forward 2, 3, 5, 10 years from now, the world is going to meet many new heroes that were born today. When I say born, I'm not just talking about if you go conceive a baby right now and say, hey, you want to go quarantine and chill right now? I'm not talking about something like that. I'm talking about the people right now that are sitting around saying, I'm about to make history and no one's going to recognize this guy because 3 years, 5 years from now, behind closed door, there's so much fire in my belly right now. The world is going to know what I'm going to do in my life. Instagram, I'm going to shut you down. and come back because I'm running out of time.